Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Life with Toxic. I cannot believe we are at episode. Oh man, yeah. Toxic. Dreams don't work unless you gon' put that work in. Yeah. Dreams don't work unless you gon' put that work in. Had to change something, I was done, I was hurting. I was on the edge, yeah, I guess I almost lost it. Gotta understand something, this the life of Toxic. Damn, bye popular domain. But I honestly just want to say, before anything, thank you so much for everybody that's watched, liked, subscribed, followed, engaged, messaged. It's crazy over here. Remember, if you're here, you're a little bit toxic. Welcome to the community. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. I didn't think I was gonna get the response that I was gonna get the response of. Sorry, while I was shooting it, my ID card is in the back of my phone, and I'm looking at it the whole time. It's really throwing me off. But anyway, so yeah, I didn't think I was gonna get the support the reaction that I was gonna get at all. I just thought I was jumping on a YouTube to talk and chat shit basically and see what was gonna go on, but look at the outcome. So yeah, wow, how overwhelming and what an amazing time. So this brings us to episode 4, which I feel like this is going to be the last episode that we're going to wrap up me and relationships, because I don't want to dwell it out. I don't want it to all be about me and relationships and whatever. I want you to actually get to know me. So we're going to do a little story time. We're going to split it up. We're going to see where this episode goes. I feel like from when we left off at in the last episode, we was talking about like me and being younger, my mom and my relationships and stuff with my family, and I want to actually dive in a bit more to like me and actually open up. I feel like the response that I've got, I should be a bit more transparent with you guys now, you know. So yeah, as far as really that I can rewind and go back, I wanted to dive into basically me just being lost out there in the industry. And I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and we was at a show and we were saying, you know, it's crazy because back in the day, like, we used to be so active and we was out there all the time and stuff, and like we could drop a YouTube video and it would go crazy, like, of us just dancing, and no one actually realized like who I used to be and like the things that I used to do. So I used to be a full-time professional dancer. Growing up, being a dancer was tough, like it was, and we was competitive against each other because that was basically what the dance industry was, you know. You wanted to be better than your friend because you wanted the top spot, you wanted to be the best dancer in the team. And I feel like that from an early age is actually really traumatizing growing up, because, you know, we're constantly competing against people that you're supposed to be gelling with and getting to know, and like that was a lot because we picked on each other like we did. And I was dancing with who are now the trend kids, and it's crazy to see them grow up to be like such amazing young dancers, because we never like got past that barrier, you know, of all the things that then came with it after. So I do think that like being in the dance industry was a lot. It's not really much different to the music industry, but I feel like, you know, that you're a solo person. Like when you're a dancer and you're on a team, it's a lot. Do you know what I mean? You've all got to be in sync, you've all got to be in time. And we was watching some of the videos yesterday, and everything is crucial. Do you know what I mean? Like even down to backflips, front flips, everything. So yeah, I've had a little backflip in my time, you know. I can do my other tricks and all. Me backflipping, insert video, me backflipping. I've got one as well from recently. So yeah, after I left Ash, I went to Shockout. In Shockout, I had basically skipped like so many stages through being with Ash because Christina was grinding us hard. Like we was elite literally for Manchester dancers. Like yeah, we was strong as hell and we was out there. So by the time I got to Shockout, I kind of wanted to do more, but I was still learning a lot of things. So I'm rushing ahead and being like, nah, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I joined Kaiso, and Kaiso had a lot of opportunities for young people, shout out Kimoy, and at the time that was Bigger Fish as well, and we was jumping on the Bigger Fish tour, so we got to meet like so many artists in there come up, like Abracadabra and Heady One, Lowski, you know, a lot of artists coming up. And obviously I'm from Cholton, like we have a lot of artists in our area, do you know what I mean? So yeah, like it was lit growing up and being surrounded by artists all the time that are basically doing all this, you know what I mean? And us being dancers, like we was never drinking, we was never doing stuff that we shouldn't be doing, because everything was monetized by everybody who brought us there anyway. But it was so cool to generally go through them experiences young. And then with dance, I'm like dancing with Stormzy and Anthony Joshua and his Victory Tour and stuff like that. So yeah, like I was doing it all from 14, 15. Like I was coming into school after coming back from Germany and competing in the European Championships. Like I'm a European champion. My trophy's bigger than me. Like this is lit. So yeah, that was it was a good time. But again, I wanted more. Like I think I've always been a hungry person. Like I've always chased down opportunities. Like I've always wanted to do probably a lot more than was out of my level at the time. So after that, I then just started getting to know like other rappers in the area, and yeah, that really got me kind of kicked out of my house and my mama's. So yeah, she was just like, you're coming out too late, like you're doing too much. No, that stage of rebellion again, I feel like we all kind of, I don't want to say we all, because there's going to be people in the comments like, I never did that. So yeah, anyway. But people have had them stages, okay? So after that, I went to my dad's, and my dad was having none of it. I didn't even know this man. Like, I hadn't met this man in like 16 years, and I'm meeting him now. And my mum just packed up my bags and left me at my dad's. She even told me I was going to my dad's. She just packed up the car, and I was like, oh, I'm probably going to drive around the block. She just left me there, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, this was like cool. But I'm just like, I don't really know what I can do here and what I can't do here kind of vibe. So yeah, I got in with the wrong crowd. Fast forward 2 months later, he's like, you cannot live here, like you cannot be doing this. I'm looking for hostels at the time. I'm like, I will go to these homeless places than be here. So I did. I got a homeless shelter in Wally Range, and it was lit. Like it made me it wasn't lit in terms of like we got to do whatever we want, because we definitely didn't get to do whatever we want, but it was lit in terms of like, now I can go out until 11 o'clock and I can come back, whereas my curfew at my mum's was you was not even allowed out of this house unless you were going to dance and home. Like, where else are you going? So yeah, we was active. But I remember my first night, we was walking down Clarendon Road, and I was with my friend, and these guys were like in a car, and they were like shouting stuff at my friend, and I was like, don't you speak to her like that? And like little old me, 16, first night out on the streets, like I'm active, how dare you? And these boys literally jumped out the car and was like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, don't speak to my friend like this, da 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 da. And he literally just KO'd me, like banged me straight in the street, one punch, was knocked out. Anyway, I hit the ground and I was like, oh my god. Came back up and he was like, yeah, and F you and your friend. Like, I feel like he pushed my friend as well, and like they got in the car and my friend was literally like, oh my god, like can't believe that has happened, I'm so sorry. And I'll never forget, like, she's like, we're locked in now, like, do you know what I mean, like, you're not leaving me, I'm so sorry this has happened. I was like, yeah, sure, like, this is just a life now, innit? Like, we're a gang. Like, we're locked in. And then I was having like murders in the hostel with like people. I can't show the chat the chat. No. So yeah, like by then I was just like, we're locked in it, like we're gang. So I was having murders in my hostel with like these people that we would meet outside, whatever, and the hostel was like, you can't stay here no more. And I remember I got caught pregnant and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So then I had social services jump on my back, because we're going through this whole process with everything else on the external side, you know. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And I remember social services were like, okay, we're gonna have to keep moving you, you know, like this person keeps turning up to wherever you are, like. And I didn't know at the time that this person was like tracking my social media, and I had like logins and could like get into my stuff, and I was like, damn. But at the same time I was like also like, oh, I'm here, I need help, but you know what I mean, like in certain situations. So yeah, I moved 9 times in 6 months. relationships, literally bouncing from hostel to hostel to hostel to hostel. And I think that's when, like, I was just so on the go, and I'd been doing this with dance anyway for years, so I was just like, yeah, whatever, this is normal. Like, that was not normal at all. Like, it worked out that, like, I didn't settle from, like, 2016 until, like, 2021, like, and that was literally when I moved in to my house. And it was like, damn, like, I didn't get a time to chill and relax. Like, I never got to come up, do you know what I mean? I was just moving, learning, meetings, everything. Like, it was a whole lot. So yeah, I got to there, and I think, like, being in a relationship with somebody that you are ride or die for, like I brought this up in the last episode, it does have you locked into a trance that you don't actually even know that you're in yourself, you know. So it was a lot, and I made myself very vulnerable in them situations, like, and especially learning now, like, I'm being an adult, how can I bring my son home to that kind of situation, you know? And it was a lot, yeah. It was a lot. So it brings me on to our crossover in the episode, because I seen Madison, Central Tox6ix, say the other day on social media, giving your vulnerability away in a relationship and not being able to get it back is really hard to process. And I didn't realise that. I think a lot of my toxic intuitions and actions come from basically me being in relationships and being very vulnerable with people and showing them, like, this side to me. And I went through a stage where after I lost my son and I came back to Manchester, because I didn't live in Manchester for like 2 years. I went to Liverpool and then came back, and literally people were like, oh my god, I thought you was dead. And I had to recollect myself. But I went through a stage where I would tell everyone my situation. Like, I would tell everyone, like, oh, I've just lost my son, like, oh my god, like, my son, like, do you know? And I'll bring it up all the time, and then people will, months later, would have an argument with me and be like, this is why you don't have your child, da da da. And I'd think, oh, okay, like, and I wasn't learning that when you're opening up to the wrong people, like, that can be used against you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a typical saying anyway, but sometimes you have to really lock off yourself to people to find yourself, and to actually understand what you are going through. Because if you keep bringing it up again and again and again, just because you're bringing it up, you're not actually processing it. And, like, I don't know if it's just me, but, like, we're not really a sympathy camp kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it happens, get on with it. Life is life. There's people on the other side of the world that are struggling even worse as circumstances. Do you know what I mean? So little old me in a world full of billions of people, like, get a grip kind of thing. So I think when I hit a stage where it was like, this could be worse, get a grip, that's when, like, I actually got my life together. And I don't think that's such a lie. It's such a lie. At no point have I ever got my life together. Just about now. But, like, it's a stretch. Literally still working, yeah. But I'm learning to understand a lot more in myself. And having this podcast has been really helpful, guys. Like, genuinely appreciate you all for locking in and actually listening to my stories and learning to understand me a bit more. So, yeah. But, question just to throw out there when it comes to my son. I'm going to lay this clear because I've been arguing with people lately. And it's really funny, you know, when, like, you hear a story about yourself and you're like, when did that happen in my life? Like, yeah, so situation with my son, definitely want to clear up a lot of questions. I don't even think they're questions. I think it's just, like, people that just want to talk for the sake of talking, really, and for the sake of relationships don't always work out, and what happens in them relationships. I don't think it's a thing that people choose something over somebody else. I don't think it's a thing that people abandon situations. I think people just get really scared, and it's how they act in them situations. And sometimes like, my mum hasn't lost a child. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know anybody who hasn't lost a child. I'm in my domestic violence relationship. Like, I know crackheads that have their kids. Like, there's no way I'm gonna lose my son. And I kept getting told all the time, like, if you have another incident, you know, we're gonna come in, and if you have another incident. So I got kidnapped. On their records, I got kidnapped. And it was just a situation of, we met up, what's going on, he accused me of a lot of things. We was both in a mindset of, we've just both lost our child, and we was very blinded, angry, emotions. I just had a C-section. There was a lot. So this series of events happened. I want to talk about it without affiliating myself in the situation, but I'm already in the situation, and damn. But yeah, you can read about it, like, it's in the paper. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna give out links and stuff, but for those that do know the story and don't know the story, like, don't always believe what is in the paper. Do you know what I mean? Like, God damn. I started this tunnel. No, but yeah, like, don't always believe what's in the paper. And that's the same with me with social media. Like, don't always believe what I post on social media. Like, I'm crashing out on social media and posting, oh, this guy sucks my toes, needs to get a grip of himself because he's upset me. I've literally been so vulnerable in them weeks that now I'm like, how dare you? Like, I'm gonna lose it. Like, and that's just like been my outlet, because in the past I've not had nobody. Like, when that whole affair was going on, I didn't have nobody to ring. Like, I didn't have any like situations. And I remember when I was in the mother and baby unit at the time, and I wasn't allowed to basically be out of my house for so long because I was a high risk. Like, so if I was out of my house for so long, they was able to ring the police because I'm a high risk. And I'm not talking like 24 hours, I'm talking like 2 hours. I wasn't allowed to be out of my house without contact about 2 hours, because it wasn't me that was a high risk, it was the circumstances that I was in that was a high risk, and that obviously unfolded when this happened. So they rang the police, and they was like, oh, we've got a person that's missing. So the police will come into the mother and baby unit, and they're talking to the girls in there, and they're like, oh, we need you to ring Tia. Like, where is Tia? So they're ringing my phone, and I had like this little Nokia at the time, and I'm ringing my phone, and they're like, hi, where are you? Like, da-da-da-da. And I'm in the middle of a life or death situation, and I'm like, hi, I'm just out, just having something to eat, like, you know. And they're like, where though, Tia? And I'm like, you know, just out. And then they're like, obviously they can't say we're with the police, because the police are like, don't mention it or nothing. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll call you back later. And then my stepdad rang me, and he was like, where are you? Now, if you know, my stepdad's such like a straight to the point type of guy, like, it's no messing type of thing, do you know what I mean? So he's like, where are you? And I'm in the car like, here we go. And I'm like, oh, I'm just out, you know, having some food with friends. I didn't know at the time that obviously the police are hunting me down, so I'm just having food. She's like, your mum's worried about you. She said the police are on the phone, where are you? And I remember just looking at him, and him looking at me, and me just thinking, fuck. And he was like, yeah, really? And I was like, shit. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I don't know why the police are looking for me. I'll ring him, and it's like, okay, bye. Like, put the phone down. He's like, you rang the police on me? I was like, yeah, because I did. Like, I was in a fucking life or death situation. Like, I genuinely thought I was gonna fucking die. Like, got taken into this apartment. Can tell the story because it's not like I'm lying. Do you know what I'm saying? I remember calling my friends after and being like, I was in a fucking movie. Like, 6 months later, I'm like, hello everybody, I'm trying to reconnect. So he took me to this apartment anyway. I got knocked out in the car on the way to this apartment. He's like, I'll kill you, all this business. So I got knocked out. I got woke up to a Sprite bottle being poured in my face. I'm like, brought back to like life, like the bloody crucifix. What's that thing? Anyway, got brought back to life. He's like, we're gonna go in this apartment, you're not gonna say anything. I'm like, no, I don't know about this. I'm like kicking shit out of it. I'm like, no, I'm a fighter. Do you know what I mean? One thing about me is I'm like, no. He's bit my leg. I've got a fucking hole in my leg to this day. Anyway, he's like, you're gonna go in this apartment, the security guy's locked in, he's in on this, like, you're gonna listen to what I say, and if you panic, like, he's just gonna help me, like, take you, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh my god, here we go. So I'm just like, okay, cool. I've tried to run, obviously can't get far, got a C-section, fresh out, 4 days, postpartum, let's go. So, got out, I can't walk, my leg's bleeding, limping, can't even run anyways. Even when I tried, he's like, get in the apartment, gone in the apartment now. I'm like, I'm really sorry, like, please, can you just forgive me, like, I don't want to go through this anymore. He's like, okay, cool. I'm like, please, can I just get a bath, like, it's really cold, can I just get a bath? I'm trying to calm down this guy, do you know what I mean? He's like, cool, run a bath. I had like this little bag, and it was from the hospital, and in the bag, like, if you know, when you have a baby and you come out of hospital, they give you like contraception and like leaflets and condoms and like pills for my bloody C-section. He's like, you don't need these. But when he's looking through the bag, he's like, why do you have these? Like, you're clearly cheating on me. I'm like, oh my god, I promise you I'm not. He's found my little Nokia. I am dialing 999. In the car, I've been dialing 999. He's looked at the call history. He's like, you've been calling the police. Here we go. Like, this is it. He's come back in. I'm in the bath now. I'm like, no. So don't fast forward, skip a bit out. You know, if you read about it, you'll know what happened. I got a knife to my hand. So he's like, you can have a go now, and you're gonna die slowly. Like, I am like, drown me. Like, I'm trying to get fit myself because I'm like, I don't want to go through this anymore. Please, like, just take me now. So yeah, anyway, I'm literally like, I'm looking into his eyes, and I can say to this day, like, this man was not this man. Like, he looked like something completely different, and like, thank god he's hopefully changed now. And he's not that demon that I seen. So god, yeah, like, it was just not the person I knew anyway, and I was just like, oh my god. So yeah, anyway, trauma kicked in. We've done the deed because I've like calmed him down. I'm like, I'm really sorry, like, please, like, come here, you know, like, I love you, like, please, we've done the deed, whatever. I'm fresh out the bath. He's dressed me because I'm like froze up now, do you know what I mean? Because I'm done with this. I'm so done. We've gone downstairs, got in the car. He's like, someone's been in the car. I'm like, oh yeah, who's been in the car? Next minute, oh, police! Oh, police! I'm in the car. Oh my fucking god. On police, AK-47's pointing in my face, surrounded. I'm like, great. What a day. I didn't even know if he was here for me. Like, I'm like, I've kind of forgot about the whole situation I'm been in. I'm just like, on police. Shit. So they're like, are you, like, they said my whole government name. I'm like, yeah, I am. And they're like, we've been looking for you for 5 hours. Thank God we've got you. And I'm like, oh right, thanks. I kind of forgot about all that. And then, yeah, and I never really heard from, I did, but anyway. Yeah, that was that situation. But obviously, because of it being such a high risk, that was the main reason why I lost my son. Because here we are again. What the hell is going on? Like, and there was certain things and key factors that were involved that was like, this will continue to keep happening. Like, regardless, social services side of the point was, if we don't take your child away from you, you're going to die. Like, that was literally the be all and end all. Would I say that? Definitely not. Would they say that on paper? Of course they would. So yeah, I was so out of breath, like, oh my god. So yeah, that was literally, I feel like that's what, like, it didn't really traumatize me, but it's mainly like one of the key factors now of why I am like so adamant to kind of, yeah, damn right past that water. I'll take some water. Sometimes it's just so hard. Sorry, there's no sympathy over here, like I said. So yeah, like, that's why I'm so adamant, to tell my story, and why I got into music so much, because, you know, I want my son to kind of follow my journey. I feel like me doing this podcast has really opened up like a lot of factors of this now, because, you know, I gave birth to my son, and 14 hours later he was gone out of my arms in the hospital, and I can never explain that feeling to somebody, like, ever in this world. Like, when I was going through it, and even now to this day, I say I wouldn't wish this pain on my worst enemies. Like, people who lose their children, I feel like there's two paths that you can go through, and like obviously everyone can correct me if they're wrong, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I feel like you either lose it and you absolutely fall off the rails, or there's something that holds on to you. And I feel like genuinely it is my son that makes me hold on so much, because I have had to convince myself multiple times not to end all of this for the sake of I need to see his face in 16 years, and that is how long I have to wait. So yeah, like, but it took me a long time to get over that pain. Like in the last episode I said, you know, I've been at breaking points. I used to cry myself every single day and night, you know, and I had to wake up and say, what is this solving? Like, I can't sit here and keep going through this pain every single day. And I still go through that pain. I think just because I put a smile on my face doesn't mean that, you know, I don't come home and these pictures are all around my house, like he's tatted on me. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's hard, one thing that they said to me during therapy was, it's hard to grieve somebody that's still alive, so you don't have anything to technically grieve, but you're still grieving. And ever since they told me that, it didn't solve shit. Like, it did not solve shit. I was like, great, so I'm basically grieving something that's still here. Like, and I do, like, I've had conversations with my friends who have had miscarriages or have had children that have passed away, or, you know, I joined a community, as weird as it sounds, for us to connect, and I did meet a lot of people, and it was interesting to see their perspective on life, because I always envy a lot of people who have lost their child, because you have something to grieve, you have a gravestone to visit, or you have, do you know what I mean, like you have something. I don't have any of that. Like, I just sit here every day and kind of just float in the wind, like, and that's just kind of how I do look at life, that I do just kind of float in the wind until my son comes home, kind of thing. And then I fall into a whole trance of like, oh my god, I'm gonna be like 40 when my son comes home, and that's like half my life gone. So I'm also wishing my life away at the same time, and like, that's hard to go through. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I say I would never wish this on nobody, because you're never going to get closure in a situation unless, what am I going to do? Go and take crack in a bush? Like, you know, like, what else am I supposed to do? So, yeah, like, it's a lot sometimes when I have people come at me and they're like, oh, look, though, you've lost your child. And I'm like, shit. No way. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? So, yeah, but it's also trapped me in a world of relationships. Like, it's hard to be around my friends that have got kids. It's hard to think that I want a family, but if my son comes home, like, is that going to be then a question of how come you had that family and didn't have me? Like, it's a damn lot that I think to myself every single day, and you still see me pushing on the gram and doing content and whatever else. Like, fucking hell, somebody give me a medal. Somebody. So yeah, like, and again, it's that vulnerability in it. Like, I feel like I'm a lot more open to put my vulnerability state out here on YouTube, because it's been my choice to do that. Whereas when somebody's out there on social media, how ironic of me saying this. You know, when the light bulb clicked in my head, like. The light bulb actually just clicked in my head. Sorry guys, if I've ever posted you on social media, please just out there. I just want to say I feel really bad for it now. No, I'm actually crying. Yeah, so again, it's giving people that vulnerability and them using it against you. It's kind of wild. Like, why would you do that? But like, at least I can, like, that is the thing though about me. Like, I'm very open and honest, you know what I mean? Like, I know my shit stinks. You don't have to come and tell me my shit stinks at the end of the day. You're on social media posting my business. Like, hon, I've got a podcast about it. Go watch it. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want a bit more in depth, honey, subscribe. God damn. Like, and that's what I love about this series, because we're really open and honest, you know. God, I hope you all chuckled at that one, because that one set me up. Yeah, kind of nearly done. Things that I've experienced in my life. Wow, what a time, eh? And I could go on for years about these stories. You know, I get blocked a lot, and now I understand why. Like, I really am a crash out. But then I've had my fair shares. Like, I got baby reindeered one time, you know. Like, one guy actually baby reindeered and stayed outside my house. And I woke up, it was a blastering heat outside. It was like 45 degrees. I swear to God, it was so damn hot. And I had a housemate at the time, Ryan. Shout out Ryan, he's fucking funny as fuck. So me and Ryan were living here, and he literally followed me outside, and he was like, let me in. And we was like, no, like, you're not coming in the house, it's not happening. So we stayed outside in his car literally from like 11 o'clock to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, like 11 o'clock at night. It was so hot. 11 o'clock at night till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because we didn't wake up till 2. Yeah. And I remember I woke up and I went to the window and I was like, oh, sorry guys, I was like, he's still outside. And Ryan was like, no, he can't be. I was like, he is. And I just left him out there, went to work, came back on my break and was like, you need to wake up. And he's like, oh yeah, sorry. He's fucking baking in his fan. Like, oh God, I've had my fair shares, honestly. But I think my biggest lesson is to just stay away from these guys, because they actually traumatize me a lot. And you know, someone's mum called me a pedo the other day. They called me a predator. And it's just a damn lot. And I knew I was going to get cold when he was only 2 years goddamn younger than me. Oh, so yeah, anyway. Tales to be told. Some things I've not got over yet. But getting called a predator was a new one in my book. I'll start writing a list for yous. You made me too vulnerable and then you pissed me off. So yeah. Anyway, guys. Thanks for another episode of Life with Toxic. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe. Like, you know, I can check my analytics and I know if you make it this far or not. So I know I probably should have said it a bit earlier, because some of you don't make it this far. You might have in this one though. Who knows? So yeah, thanks for joining. Oh no, wait, I'm not finished. What's my outro?
AB, spin that